Why do we waste so much energy worrying about things we can't control? What if I told you the secret to inner peace is as simple as letting go? Sounds impossible, right? But this one Stoic principle can completely transform the way you live your life. Starting today, imagine waking up every day feeling calm, focused, and unshaken by the chaos around you. No more stressing about other people's opinions. No more sleepless nights over things you can't change. That's the power of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us to master our minds and emotions. And at the heart of this timeless wisdom lies one life-changing principle: focus only on what you can control. In this video, we'll break down exactly how this works and why it's the ultimate key to freedom and peace of mind. Stay with me, because this might just be the perspective shift you've been searching for. 1. Focus only on what you can control. One of the most transformative principles of Stoicism is the idea that your peace of mind hinges on knowing what you can control and what you cannot. At first glance, this may seem obvious, but how often do we actually practice it in our daily lives? Think about it. How many times have you stressed over someone else's opinion, worried about an outcome beyond your influence, or agonized over things that simply didn't go your way? Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, put it simply: there's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. This principle is rooted in one key realization: you cannot control external events, other people's thoughts, or the random twists of fate. What you can control, however, is your own mind, your thoughts, actions, and reactions. When you shift your focus inward and let go of external distractions, life suddenly becomes far less complicated. How to apply this principle? Stop reacting to other people. If someone criticizes you unfairly, ask yourself, is this something I can change, or is this just their opinion? Most often, it's the latter. Learn to let it roll off your shoulders. Filter out the noise. News, social media, and gossip are full of things outside your control. Limit your exposure to what doesn't serve your mental well-being. Master your reactions. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can't change the situation, but you can control how you feel about it. Instead of getting angry, use the time to listen to an audiobook or practice mindfulness. Why this matters? When you focus only on what you can control, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Your energy isn't wasted on things you cannot change, which means you have more bandwidth to work on what truly matters. Over time, this mental clarity builds resilience and inner peace. For example, if someone doesn't respond to your text, your instinct might be to overthink and feel upset. But if you apply this principle, you'll realize that their response is out of your control. What is in your control is how you choose to move forward, whether it's waiting patiently, focusing on something else, or letting go entirely. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic, reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you truly adopt this mindset, it transforms the way you approach life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start taking charge of your own happiness. It's liberating, empowering, and life-changing, all in one simple shift of perspective. 2. Reframe problems as opportunities. In life, challenges are inevitable. From unexpected setbacks to personal failures, difficulties have a way of sneaking into our paths when we least expect them. But here's the thing. It's not the problem itself that defines you. It's how you choose to perceive and respond to it. This is where Stoic wisdom truly shines. By reframing problems as opportunities, you can turn adversity into your greatest teacher. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that every obstacle you encounter is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. What does it mean to reframe problems? Reframing problems isn't about pretending everything is fine or ignoring hardship. It's about consciously choosing to see challenges through a different lens. Instead of viewing difficulties as burdens, You see them as stepping stones to improvement. When you shift your mindset, problems become opportunities to develop your skills, character, and inner strength. For example, a financial setback becomes a chance to develop better budgeting habits. A failed relationship becomes an opportunity to understand your needs and values more deeply. A tough conversation with a colleague becomes a lesson in communication and conflict resolution. How to apply this principle? Pause and reflect. When faced with a challenge, resist the urge to react immediately. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or how can I grow through this experience? Focus on solutions, not complaints. Instead of getting stuck in a cycle of negativity, channel your energy into finding actionable steps forward. Remember, focusing on the problem won't solve it, but focusing on the solution will. Embrace discomfort as growth. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. When you feel overwhelmed by a challenge, remind yourself that discomfort is often the first sign of progress. Practice gratitude for challenges. This may seem counterintuitive, but expressing gratitude for your struggles can shift your perspective. Say to yourself, thank you for this challenge. It's making me stronger. Why this matters? This principle can radically transform how you approach life. Instead of being paralyzed by fear or frustration, you become energized by the possibility of growth. Challenges stop feeling like roadblocks and start feeling like opportunities for self-improvement. Think about Thomas Edison's famous quote after multiple failed attempts to invent the light bulb. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. By reframing failure as a learning process, Edison was able to achieve success that changed the world. A personal example. Imagine losing a job you loved. At first, it feels devastating. Your routine, stability, and confidence take a hit. But if you reframe this event, you might start to see it as a chance to explore new career paths, learn new skills, or even pursue a dream you had put on hold. What initially seemed like a setback might actually be the turning point for something better. Key takeaway. When you choose to see problems as opportunities, you reclaim your power. Life no longer feels like it's happening to you. It feels like it's happening for you. You begin to approach challenges with curiosity instead of dread, resilience instead of defeat. And that shift in mindset? That's how you turn obstacles into stepping stones toward a better version of yourself. 3. Detach from outcomes. One of the biggest sources of frustration and disappointment in life is our attachment to specific outcomes. We set our hearts on how things should go, a promotion we deserve, a relationship we expect to work out, or a goal we strive to achieve. But when life doesn't meet those expectations, it can feel crushing. Stoicism teaches us a profound yet freeing truth. The key to inner peace is detaching from the outcome and focusing instead on the process. As Epictetus wisely said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals or aspirations. It means understanding that your effort is what truly matters, not the final result. What does it mean to detach from outcomes? Detachment isn't about apathy or not caring. It's about recognizing that while you can control your actions, you cannot always control the result. You give your best effort, remain committed to your values, and accept whatever happens with grace. For example, you study hard for an exam, but the result isn't in your hands. You give your all in a relationship, but you can't force someone else to stay. You pitch your best idea at work, but the decision to approve it lies with others. By detaching from the outcome, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of expectations and disappointments. How to apply this principle? Focus on the process. Shift your attention to the effort you're putting in, not the result you're hoping for. If you're writing a book, enjoy the act of writing rather than obsessing over how it will sell. Set internal goals. Instead of saying, I want to get promoted, say, I want to improve my skills and contribute meaningfully. Internal goals are within your control. External goals are not. Practice acceptance. Remind yourself that the universe operates on its own terms. No amount of worrying or forcing can change that. Let go of resistance to what is. Find joy in the journey. When you stop obsessing over outcomes, you start noticing the beauty of the present moment. The process itself becomes fulfilling. Why this matters? Detaching from outcomes doesn't mean you stop striving. It means you stop suffering. Think of an archer. Their job is to aim and shoot with precision. Once the arrow leaves the bow, they have no control over whether it hits the target. The wind, the movement of the target, or other factors may come into play. The archer's focus should remain on perfecting their aim, not on guaranteeing the bullseye. In life, you're the archer. By focusing on your actions and releasing attachment to the results, you'll find yourself calmer, less anxious, and more resilient to setbacks. A practical example. Consider a job interview. You prepare thoroughly, dress well, and give your best answers. After that, the decision lies in the employer's hands. If you detach from the outcome, you can walk away feeling proud of your effort, regardless of whether you get the job. If you cling to the result, however, you'll likely feel anxious, frustrated, or even defeated if things don't go your way. Key takeaway. When you detach from outcomes, you reclaim your peace of mind. You stop tying your self-worth to external results and start valuing the effort and integrity you bring to every situation. This mindset shift not only reduces stress, but also helps you live more fully in the present. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. 4. Master your emotions. One of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy is learning to master your emotions, rather than being mastered by them. Life constantly throws situations at us that provoke anger, sadness, frustration, or fear. The Stoics believed that while these emotions are natural, allowing them to control your actions leads to irrational decisions, regret, and inner turmoil. Instead, they taught that through self-awareness and rational thinking, you can manage your emotions and maintain a sense of inner calm. As Seneca said, a man is as unhappy as he has convinced himself he is. This means that your emotional state often depends not on external events, but on how you choose to interpret and respond to them. What does it mean to master your emotions? Mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring them. It means acknowledging them, understanding their root causes, and responding to them in a measured, thoughtful way. The goal isn't to become emotionless, but to cultivate emotional intelligence and resilience. For example, if someone insults you, instead of reacting with anger, pause and ask yourself, why does this bother me? Is it worth my peace of mind? If you feel overwhelmed by fear or anxiety, remind yourself that most fears are exaggerated stories created by your mind. Mastering your emotions means taking back control. You stop being a puppet of external events and start steering your own ship. How to apply this principle? Pause before reacting. When you feel an intense emotion rising, take a moment to pause. This allows your rational mind to catch up with your emotional response. Deep breathing can help calm your nervous system. Question your thoughts. Emotions are often fueled by the stories we tell ourselves. Ask, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Challenging negative or irrational thoughts can diffuse the intensity of your emotions. Focus on what you can control. You can't control other people or external events, but you can control how you respond to them. Shift your attention from what's outside your power to what's within it. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negative emotions. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your emotional state naturally becomes more balanced. Use physical outlets. Exercise, journaling, or even a walk in nature can help release pent-up emotions in a healthy way, preventing them from building up and exploding later. Why this matters? Mastering your emotions leads to a greater sense of inner peace and stability. Instead of being at the mercy of every insult, disappointment, or frustration, you remain calm and composed. This not only benefits you but also strengthens your relationships. People are drawn to those who remain steady in the face of adversity. Imagine being stuck in traffic. Anger or frustration won't make the cars move faster, but it will ruin your mood. By mastering your emotions, you can choose to remain calm, listen to music, or use the time to reflect. This simple shift can transform an irritating situation into a moment of peace. A practical example. Picture yourself in a heated argument. If you let anger take over, you might say things you regret or escalate the conflict unnecessarily. But if you pause, take a breath, and respond calmly, you're more likely to resolve the issue constructively. This ability to stay composed under pressure is the essence of emotional mastery. Key takeaway. When you learn to master your emotions, you gain freedom. You no longer react impulsively to every trigger, but respond intentionally based on your values and wisdom. As Epictetus wrote, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This principle empowers you to create a life of stability, clarity, and purpose. 5. Embrace discomfort to grow. Growth and comfort rarely coexist. Stoicism teaches that the path to self-improvement often requires embracing discomfort, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. Avoiding challenges or hardships might feel good in the short term, but it prevents you from developing resilience and strength. The Stoics believed that stepping into discomfort willingly helps prepare you for life's inevitable difficulties, making you stronger and more capable of handling adversity. As Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This means that obstacles, instead of being barriers, can become opportunities for growth if you approach them with the right mindset. What does it mean to embrace discomfort? Embracing discomfort means leaning into situations that challenge you rather than avoiding them. It's about understanding that struggle is not your enemy. It's your teacher. Whether it's waking up early, facing fears, or enduring criticism, each moment of discomfort is a chance to build character. For example, pushing through a tough workout instead of skipping it builds physical and mental endurance. Having an uncomfortable but honest conversation strengthens relationships. Learning a new skill despite initial failures expands your abilities and confidence. Discomfort, when embraced, becomes a stepping stone to transformation. How to apply this principle? Start small. Begin by incorporating small, intentional acts of discomfort into your daily routine. This could be taking a cold shower, fasting for a few hours, or tackling a difficult task first thing in the morning. Reframe challenges. Instead of seeing discomfort as a burden, view it as an opportunity to grow. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Build resilience gradually. Growth takes time. Don't overwhelm yourself by taking on too much at once. Incremental challenges lead to sustainable progress. Practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics often practiced this by fasting, sleeping on hard surfaces, or wearing simple clothing to remind themselves of life's essentials. This helped them build gratitude and resilience. Celebrate small wins. Every time you face discomfort and persevere, acknowledge your progress. This reinforces the habit and motivates you to keep going. Why this matters? Avoiding discomfort might shield you from short-term pain, but it also keeps you stuck. When you face discomfort head-on, you discover your strength and potential. Over time, what once seemed daunting becomes manageable, and you develop confidence in your ability to handle life's challenges. For instance, consider public speaking. For many, it's a source of intense discomfort. But the only way to overcome the fear is by doing it, speaking in small groups, then larger ones, until the fear diminishes. Each step outside your comfort zone strengthens your ability to face bigger challenges. A practical example. Imagine you've been procrastinating on a difficult project at work. It's uncomfortable to sit down and start. But once you push through that initial resistance, you get into a flow and feel accomplished by the end. The discomfort of starting was temporary, but the sense of achievement lasts much longer. Key takeaway. Discomfort is a natural part of growth. Instead of running from it, lean into it with courage and curiosity. By embracing challenges, you build resilience, learn valuable lessons, and unlock your full potential. As Seneca wrote, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. 6. Focus on what you can control. One of the most transformative teachings of Stoicism is the idea of focusing only on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. This simple yet profound principle can free you from unnecessary stress, anxiety, and frustration. The Stoics believed that much of our unhappiness comes from trying to control things outside our influence, other people's opinions, external events, or outcomes of our efforts. Instead, they taught us to direct our energy toward what is within our power, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. As Epictetus famously said, some things are up to us, and some things are not. Recognizing the difference is the key to inner peace. What does it mean to focus on what you can control? Focusing on what you can control means accepting that the world is unpredictable and that not everything will go your way. However, you always have the power to choose how you respond to situations. By shifting your attention to your own actions and mindset, you reclaim your agency and stop wasting energy on things that are beyond your influence. For example, you can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you prepare for it. You can't control the outcome of an exam or interview, but you can control how much effort you put into preparing for it. This shift in focus not only reduces stress, but also makes you more effective in dealing with challenges. How to apply this principle? Identify what's within your control. In any challenging situation, pause and ask yourself, what can I influence here? Focus your attention and efforts on those aspects. Practice letting go. Acknowledge what is outside your control and consciously let it go. This might involve repeating affirmations like, "This is beyond my power," and that's okay. Direct your energy wisely. Channel your energy into actions that make a real difference. Don't waste time worrying about things you can't change. Reframe your perspective. Instead of seeing external obstacles as personal failures, view them as neutral events. It's not about what happens. It's about how you interpret and respond to it. Use the dichotomy of control. Break situations into two categories: what you can control and what you can't. Act on the first and release the second. Why this matters? When you focus on what you can control, you free yourself from unnecessary mental clutter and emotional turbulence. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the unpredictability of life, you become grounded in your own ability to navigate it. This not only brings peace of mind, but also improves your decision-making and resilience. Imagine you're stuck in a traffic jam on your way to an important meeting. You can't control the traffic, but you can control how you use the time, listening to an audiobook, practicing deep breathing, or preparing mentally for the meeting. By focusing on your actions rather than the circumstances, you remain calm and productive. A practical example. Think about someone who criticizes you unfairly. While you can't stop them from expressing their opinions, you can control how you process their words. Instead of taking it personally or reacting defensively, you might choose to stay calm, evaluate whether the criticism has any merit, and move on. This approach not only preserves your peace, but also demonstrates emotional maturity. Key takeaway: focusing on what you can control empowers you to live a more intentional and peaceful life. It liberates you from the exhausting pursuit of trying to control the uncontrollable. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By living this principle, you create a life rooted in clarity, purpose, and resilience. 7. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices for transforming your mindset and cultivating inner peace. Stoics were known for their deep appreciation for life's simple gifts, even in the face of hardship. Practicing gratitude allows us to shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have, helping us feel more content and at peace with our circumstances. As Seneca wrote, "A grateful mind is a great mind which eventually attracts to itself great things." This principle teaches us that recognizing the value in what we have can attract more abundance into our lives, both internally and externally. What does it mean to practice gratitude daily? To practice gratitude daily means consciously acknowledging and appreciating the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small they may seem. It involves taking a moment to reflect on the things you are thankful for, and doing so regularly, to foster an attitude of abundance rather than scarcity. For example, waking up with good health and a roof over your head, having supportive friends or a loving family, the opportunity to pursue your passions or work towards your goals. By making gratitude a daily habit, you cultivate a mindset that looks for the good in every situation, which makes it easier to navigate challenges and maintain peace of mind. How to apply this principle? Start your day with gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, take a few minutes to reflect on what you're grateful for. This could be your health, relationships, or even the simple act of waking up to a new day. Keep a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you are thankful for at the end of each day. This helps you build a habit of focusing on the positive aspects of your life. Practice gratitude in difficult times. Even during tough moments, try to find something to be thankful for. Perhaps it's a lesson you're learning, or the strength you're gaining through adversity. Express gratitude to others. Take time to thank the people in your life who make a positive impact. Acknowledging others helps strengthen your relationships and reinforces your sense of gratitude. Reframe complaints. When you catch yourself complaining, pause and reframe it by focusing on what you're grateful for in that situation. This can transform your perspective and reduce feelings of frustration. Why this matters? Gratitude not only improves your emotional well-being, but it also strengthens your ability to navigate challenges with resilience. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a sense of abundance, which can help you remain calm, centered, and hopeful, no matter the circumstances. For example, if you face a setback at work, instead of dwelling on the negative, practicing gratitude can help you shift focus to the opportunities for growth or learning. You might be grateful for the lessons learned or the chance to improve your skills. This shift in perspective allows you to face adversity with a more constructive mindset. A practical example. Imagine you've had a long and exhausting day. But instead of focusing on your exhaustion or the things that went wrong, you take a moment to reflect on the things that went right. Perhaps you had a meaningful conversation with a friend or successfully completed a challenging task at work. By consciously choosing to focus on these positives, you end the day on a note of contentment rather than frustration. Key takeaway. Practicing gratitude daily shifts your focus from what is missing in your life to what is already present, allowing you to find peace and contentment in any situation. As Marcus Aurelius said, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. By incorporating gratitude into your daily routine, you can transform your perspective and unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment. 8. Embrace discomfort for growth. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is the idea that discomfort is not only inevitable, but also essential for growth. Whether it's physical discomfort, emotional discomfort, or mental challenges, the Stoics believed that by facing discomfort head-on, we develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. The discomfort we experience is often a tool that can push us beyond our limits and into greater self-awareness. As Epictetus stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Discomfort is inevitable, but it's our response to it that determines whether it becomes an obstacle or a stepping stone to growth. What does it mean to embrace discomfort for growth? Embracing discomfort doesn't mean seeking suffering for the sake of it. Rather, it means recognizing discomfort as an essential part of the process of self-improvement. It's about pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone to develop resilience and emotional fortitude. This principle encourages you to confront challenges, even when they feel difficult or uncomfortable, because it is through these experiences that you will grow stronger. Whether it's enduring a tough workout, tackling a difficult task at work, or facing your own fears, Stoicism teaches us to view these moments not as setbacks, but as opportunities to strengthen our character. How to apply this principle? Step into discomfort regularly. Engage in activities that challenge you, whether it's physical exercise, taking on difficult projects, or speaking in public. The more you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, the more resilient you'll become. Practice mental toughness. When faced with discomfort, avoid running away from it. Instead, sit with the discomfort and remind yourself that it will pass. Each time you endure discomfort, you become better at handling future challenges. See challenges as opportunities. Instead of viewing obstacles as barriers, reframe them as opportunities for growth. For example, a tough workout can be seen as an opportunity to increase strength, just as a challenging conversation can be an opportunity to build emotional intelligence. Prepare for discomfort in advance. The Stoics were great at anticipating challenges and preparing for them mentally. By anticipating difficulties in advance, you can better equip yourself to handle them when they arise. Reflect on your growth. After experiencing discomfort, take time to reflect on what you've learned. How did you handle the situation? How have you grown? This reflection helps solidify the lessons learned and reinforces your ability to deal with discomfort in the future. Why this matters? Embracing discomfort for growth is a fundamental way to break free from the cycle of comfort and complacency. Without facing challenges, it's difficult to grow and evolve. Discomfort acts as a catalyst for change. It forces us to adapt, learn, and improve. Every time you embrace discomfort, you expand your limits and prepare yourself for even greater challenges ahead. For example, if you avoid difficult situations, like giving a presentation or having a difficult conversation, you're not allowing yourself to grow. But by willingly facing these situations, you learn new skills, improve your confidence, and expand your abilities. Discomfort teaches you what you're truly capable of. A practical example. Imagine you're preparing for a marathon. In the beginning, the idea of running 10 miles feels almost impossible. But each time you step outside your comfort zone and push your limits, you build endurance. As the discomfort increases, you become more resilient. By the time the marathon arrives, you're no longer afraid of the challenge. You've learned to embrace discomfort, and it has transformed you into a stronger version of yourself. Key takeaway. Embracing discomfort is a powerful tool for personal growth. It forces us to confront our limitations and transcend them. As Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. By accepting discomfort as a natural part of life and responding to it with resilience, we build the strength to face any challenge and achieve true growth. 9. Focus on what you can control. One of the central tenets of Stoic philosophy is the idea of distinguishing between what you can control and what you cannot. This principle teaches us to focus our time, energy, and thoughts on things within our control, rather than wasting them on things we have no influence over. The Stoics believed that the path to inner peace and fulfillment is through mastering this art of focusing only on what we can change, while accepting what we cannot. As Epictetus famously said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This quote encapsulates the Stoic approach to life, focusing on your own actions, thoughts, and attitudes, which are the only things that are truly within your control. What does it mean to focus on what you can control? Focusing on what you can control means not wasting mental energy on things outside your influence. It means accepting the unpredictability of life and taking responsibility for your own actions and reactions. Instead of getting caught up in worrying about how others behave or the outcomes of situations, you direct your attention to your own decisions and responses. This principle helps reduce stress, anxiety, and frustration, as it removes the need for you to constantly chase things outside your control. It leads to greater peace of mind because it allows you to recognize that you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond to everything that happens. How to apply this principle? Identify what you can control. Start by identifying the things in your life that are under your control and those that are not. For example, you can control how hard you work, how you react to people, and the way you choose to spend your time. But you cannot control the weather, other people's opinions, or global events. Let go of what you cannot control. Once you've identified what is outside your control, consciously let go of it. For instance, if someone is rude to you, you can't change their behavior, but you can control your reaction. By accepting this fact, you free yourself from unnecessary frustration. Take responsibility for your reactions. When faced with challenges, remind yourself that your reaction is the one thing you have full control over. Whether you choose to respond with calmness, anger, or gratitude, that choice is entirely yours. Focus on effort, not results. The Stoics believed that we should focus on doing our best and putting in the right effort, without worrying about the outcome. Outcomes are often outside our control, so placing too much emphasis on them can lead to disappointment. Simplify your life. Often, we waste time and energy by getting bogged down in unnecessary worries and complexities. Simplifying your life by letting go of things that are outside your control will help you focus on what truly matters. Practice daily reflection. Take time each day to reflect on your actions, your reactions, and your thoughts. Did you focus on what you could control? Did you let go of things outside your influence? This practice helps strengthen your resolve to focus on the right things moving forward. Why this matters? Focusing on what you can control allows you to regain your sense of agency and autonomy in life. When you spend less time worrying about things that are beyond your influence, you become more focused, productive, and peaceful. This mindset frees you from the mental burden of trying to control everything around you and helps you focus on living your life with purpose and intention. Moreover, this principle encourages a sense of emotional stability. When you accept that certain things are beyond your control, you stop internalizing disappointments and external events. You can choose to focus on responding to those events with grace and wisdom, instead of letting them dictate your emotional state. A practical example. Imagine you're dealing with a difficult situation at work, where a colleague is spreading rumors about you. This situation is out of your control, as you can't stop the rumors or change the behavior of your colleague. However, what you can control is how you respond. Instead of letting anger or frustration take over, you can choose to stay calm, maintain your professionalism, and focus on doing your work to the best of your ability. By focusing on your response, rather than the uncontrollable actions of others, you maintain your peace of mind and stay true to your values. Key takeaway. Focusing on what you can control is one of the most empowering principles of Stoicism. By redirecting your energy away from things outside your influence, you can focus on what truly matters: your actions, your responses, and your mindset. This leads to a more peaceful, purposeful, and fulfilled life. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. 10. Embrace discomfort to build resilience. Stoic philosophy teaches us that discomfort and challenges are not to be feared, but embraced as opportunities for growth. Resilience isn't built in comfort zones. It's forged through enduring and overcoming adversity. By seeking discomfort intentionally, you train your mind and body to handle life's inevitable challenges with grace and strength. As Seneca put it, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. This principle encourages us to lean into life's difficulties rather than avoiding them. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to dread, the Stoics saw it as a necessary tool for personal growth. What does it mean to embrace discomfort? Embracing discomfort doesn't mean you have to seek out pain or suffering unnecessarily. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and willingly facing challenges that push your limits. This might mean doing something as simple as taking a cold shower, having a difficult conversation, or committing to a rigorous workout. It's in these moments of discomfort that we grow, strengthen our character, and become more resilient. Life is unpredictable, and discomfort is inevitable. By training yourself to face it intentionally, you're better prepared to handle the discomforts that come your way unexpectedly. How to apply this principle? Start small. Begin by introducing manageable discomforts into your daily life. For example, wake up earlier than usual, skip a luxurious indulgence, or spend time without your phone. These small acts of intentional discomfort can help you build mental and physical resilience. Practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics often practiced voluntary discomfort to prepare for adversity. Seneca, for instance, would periodically live as if he were poor, eating simple meals and wearing basic clothing. This practice helped him appreciate what he had and reduced his fear of losing material wealth. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Instead of dreading challenges, view them as opportunities for growth. When faced with an obstacle, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? Push your physical limits. Activities like exercise, cold exposure, or fasting are excellent ways to train your body and mind to endure discomfort. These practices not only improve physical health, but also teach you discipline and self-control. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Whether it's public speaking, taking on a tough project, or learning a new skill, stepping outside your comfort zone regularly helps you grow. Over time, you'll find that tasks that once seemed daunting become manageable. Face your fears. Confronting fears head-on is a powerful way to embrace discomfort. Afraid of rejection? Put yourself in situations where rejection is possible. Fear of failure? Take on a challenge where the outcome is uncertain. By doing so, you diminish the power of fear over your life. Why this matters? Discomfort is unavoidable in life. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle often comes down to how they handle it. By embracing discomfort, you build the resilience needed to navigate life's uncertainties and hardships with grace. You also cultivate a sense of gratitude for the comforts you do have, as you learn to appreciate them more fully. This principle also helps reduce anxiety and fear. When you've intentionally faced discomfort and proven to yourself that you can handle it, you feel more confident in your ability to face whatever life throws your way. A practical example. Imagine you're nervous about giving a presentation at work. Instead of avoiding it, you decide to embrace the discomfort. You spend time preparing, practicing in front of others, and gradually building your confidence. By the time the presentation arrives, you're still a bit nervous, but you've trained yourself to face the challenge. Afterward, you feel proud of your effort and realize that discomfort isn't as overwhelming as you once thought. Key takeaway: resilience and growth are born from discomfort. By stepping outside your comfort zone and facing challenges intentionally, you become stronger, more confident, and better equipped to handle life's uncertainties. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. By embracing discomfort, you transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Life is a journey filled with challenges, uncertainties, and opportunities for growth. The Stoic principles we've explored today are not just abstract ideas from ancient philosophy. They are practical, actionable strategies that can profoundly impact your mindset, decisions, and overall life experience. Each principle, from practicing mindfulness and embracing discomfort to controlling your perceptions and accepting what you cannot change, offers a stepping stone toward living a more resilient, focused, and fulfilling life. By consistently applying these lessons, you cultivate inner peace, sharpen your self-discipline, and develop the strength to face whatever life throws your way. Why do these principles matter? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or lost. But the timeless wisdom of Stoicism reminds us that true transformation begins within. You can't control the external world, but you can control how you react to it. You can't predict every challenge, but you can prepare your mind to meet those challenges with courage and clarity. As Epictetus so wisely said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This perspective empowers you to stop being a victim of your circumstances and instead become the architect of your own life. Practical steps forward. Start small. Choose one principle from the list and make it a part of your daily routine. Over time, layer in the others as you grow more comfortable with the mindset shifts they require. Reflect regularly. Journaling about your progress, challenges, and successes can help solidify these principles in your life. Embrace imperfection. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. What matters is consistency and the willingness to keep trying. The ultimate goal. By living in alignment with Stoic principles, you're not just improving your life, you're also creating a ripple effect for those around you. Your calm demeanor, thoughtful decisions, and ability to rise above adversity will inspire others to do the same. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. The power to transform your life lies in your hands, one day, one decision, and one principle at a time.